Welcome to another episode of the E3 with Larry Ice video series. In this episode, I wanted to talk a little bit about trusting God. And in the episode I made earlier than this, I heard that my audio was a little bit low, so I'll try getting the microphone closer today. And I wanted to talk about trusting in the Lord. I'm working on a study on the word hope, and hope is wrapped up in trust. I think that, often we think of hope like, I hope this will happen, and maybe it will, but perhaps it won't. And I don't think scriptural hope in God is that. Hope in God is more definite than that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about just the beginning of some trust issues that I used to have with God that caused me to have the kind of hope that is the former kind. In other words, the kind of hope where I hoped I would be saved. I hoped I would see him in heaven. I hoped he would say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," but I wasn't sure. And I wanted to talk about that. So let me just start. Proverbs 3, 5 and 6 says this: "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths." I've had some bad beliefs over the course of my life, and those of you who have listened to me or read me very long are aware. From an early age, I learned to understand that pleasing God meant strict obedience to a lengthy set of rules, commands, moral virtues, and that failure to please him meant opening the door to his punishment. 8 words from Numbers chapter 32 and verse 23 were stuck in my head. Those words are, "Be sure your sin will find you out." Boy, I lived like that was going to happen. I was under fear of that. Consequently, whenever I did something wrong, and by wrong I mean wrong according to the Old Testament law, all the subsequent New Testament imperatives, commands, directives, and the rules taught by my church and my parents, I would grovel before the Lord. I would plead with him to allow me to escape the awful consequences of my actions. I would promise to behave myself in the future. This was my view of God's mercy, that he might possibly forego punishment if I really meant it when I said I was sorry. And I really did mean it too. Of course, I would soon fail again and prove to myself that I had not really been sorry after all, but this time I would be really sorry, and I would really mean it, and I would really do better. Some of you can probably identify. I trusted that the Lord was holy. I trusted that the Lord could not and would not abide sin. I trusted that he was unchanging, at least in the sense of being unbending in his demand for righteousness from me. And he is unbending in his demand for righteousness. But what I failed to understand was that Jesus had given me his righteousness. What a beautiful thing. Think about it for a moment. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Any glory you're going to see isn't up to you, it's up to him. Any glory you're going to see isn't because you performed well, it's because he lives in you. Do you know where God lives? He lives in the Holy of Holies, that holiest of places in the temple where no priest could go except the high priest, and only once a year and after lengthy ritual cleansing. He had to be righteous to enter. He lives in you. He lives in his church. Do you know what that means? You are righteous at the core of your being. God loves you. I hope this is a great encouragement to you today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like and click the little bell so you get an announcement the next time I do a video. And all of these things contribute to making sure more people are able to see these and benefit from the beautiful glory of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Have a great day.